Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. We're gonna do a fun fold today. It's a good one. It's one that I've actually shared recently. There's two different versions of it that I've shared recently, and I'm gonna do one with the Storybook Moments Designer Series paper pack, which is just a wonderful pack of papers. It's got little ephemera pieces in it and stuff too, so that you can do all kinds of things, as far as like quick cards and stuff. And it's still available. It's on the last chance list, but I just checked like minutes before I got live, and it is still available. So that's a good thing, at least in the US. I'm not sure about the other markets, but we're gonna have fun with that today, and we're gonna make some tower pillar cards again. I felt like the last time I shared the tower pillar card in my Paper Pumpkin Live, I was rushing through all the projects. So this will give the card a little bit more justice. And then there's another version as far as like measurements go that I'm going to teach to you today too. So I hope that you appreciate that, and we are gonna have some fun. So a big welcome to all of you who are returning to see my videos, and I'm sorry for the delay today. We had some glitches that were happening with my phone connecting to the whole thing, and the phone is like my main computer, or my main camera. It's the one above me here that looks down on my desk, so we needed the phone. Anyways, it's working now. And also a big welcome to all of you who are new. If you're new, I hope that you stick around. We're gonna do some really fun stuff here today. And I'll try to walk you through the process in a clear manner so that you can possibly make this yourself, even if you're a beginning stamper, paper crafter, I should say. So also welcome to our YouTube the members, sorry. Yes, all of you who are subscribed, big welcome to you. But if you are a member of my channel, I also want to give you a shout out because you support my channel monetarily, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. Okay, I think that is it. Let's go to the desktop really quick. I want to show you the cards. So this is the one I'm going to walk you through step by step. It's a tower pillar card, and I'm calling it the tunnel tower pillar card because we're creating sort of a tunnel look with it. And on the back side, you can even see a slight tunnel. And then this is the one that I'll explain to you, walk you through just, step by step, but not as detailed because we might not have time for that. But this is also, oh, I got to glue that better. This is also a tunnel tower pillar card because you can see there's a tunnel being formed with that. Oh, we're going to have to glue that. So are you excited? Isn't this fun? Nancy goes, turn it off and then turn it back on. In fact, that's what I did. I actually closed out the app because the app wasn't connecting. So yeah, I know sometimes it's the simple things. So say hello to Trisha Josephs, you guys. She's with us today. And is it your birthday today, Trisha, or was it yesterday? I'm trying to remember. It's like right at the end of December. So happy birthday to Trisha. She's here moderating for us. So that means that she's going to answer questions. If you see a little wrench symbol next to her name during the live, that means that you can tag her. You put a little @ sign, the A with a circle around it, and then start typing her name immediately, TRICIA. She'll come up, you can click on it, and then you can tag her if you have a specific question that she's not catching or something like that. Okay? I'm glad you think they're stunning. I do too. So let's go to the papers now. I want to show you. I don't have like all the paper in full because it is, again, like it's retiring, right? So I have what I have left. And you can kind of get an idea of it, right? So we have this one here, which has pieces that you can cut out and create instant cards with just by like slapping it on a folded piece of cardstock and sticking a little sentiment or embellishments. We have, let's see here, I don't want to set that in the inked area. This one has some cute little bunny characters on it with some strawberries on the back, which is what this comes from. And then we have these, oh, what are they? Chipmunks, little chipmunks. They're so adorable, you guys. This is perfect for spring, and I know that spring is not here yet, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. But at this time of year, when the holidays are passing, and at least in the northern part of the Northern Hemisphere, we're snowbound, and we look forward to warm weather at this at this point already. Well, unless you're a skier or a snowmobiler or whatever. But here we go. Here's some vegetables and then some houses on the back. And then we have garden tools. And then this golden kind of like a wallpaper look. And then we have sheets that have these punch outs, and I've punched them out, but all these little punch out, which we call ephemera. So they're going to be fun to create with today. And I've just stored them in a little stamp case. All right, and then we are going to pull in some gold foil for some accenting. We are going to pull in some of these things. These are flower accents, and they are in a nice bright gold. So I've got all of those things waiting off to the side. For the tools, we'll be using for the first card, the arches, and I've not glued them together. I've taped them together with some of our masking tape so that they're all stuck together in a nice alignment. And that's called the Everyday Arches dies. So I'm using not the smallest one, but the next 5, okay? For the second card, the tunnel effect will be used with these dies, and these are the Spotlight on Nature dies, and they're nesting circles. And then for sentiments, I'm taking some from Peaceful Pier, which is a really fun stamp set that I just started playing with, and we've had it for a while, but it's gorgeous. It is Kathy Chapman's Million Sales stamp set, and it has a really nice little saying down here. Somebody knows, somebody cares, your name is whispered in somebody's prayers. Really sweet sentiment. For dies, another die that we're going to use is this branch. Now, this comes from a new stamp set that we can't get yet, or demonstrators can, but everyone else can't yet. So this is the Nature's Symphony dies. So Trisha can't share a link to that, but we do have in the description of the video the order number for it. I believe I put the order number in there so that when January 6th hits, you'll be able to place an order for this. And it does come with a coordinating stamp set, which would, of course, fill in like these 2 dies. These are like frame dies. And then this is the detailed one that we're going to use. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. I'm in love with that one. And then Reason to Celebrate is also something that is not available to purchase yet, but January 6th you can. And it's a photopolymer stamp set with this kind of like a build a message kind of stamp set. Okay. I think that's it as far as tools go. So let's bring in some paper. So I'm going to bring in the basic white cardstock because that's what the base of our card. I'll grab my trimmer. And you know what? Let's do this too. Let me share the PDF. I want to show you the PDF really quickly before we begin, because that has measurements and supplies, images, which, I mean, you already saw the cards, and then the title and the date. And the date is clickable to my blog posts so that you can come back to my blog, and the date is underneath here. Sorry, it's underneath there. The date is clickable to my blog post, which is now live, so you can go there also and visit, and you can see the measurements. You can print off this PDF if you'd like to. It's a 1-page PDF, and it just gives you a nice reference to come back to, so you can find the video again, the how-to video, and you can create with me. Okay, back to the desktop. Did I even say the date today? It's like the second to the last day of 2025. It is December 30th. And thank you for joining me on a Tuesday rather than a Wednesday. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve day. And so I just want to respect that some of you are vacationing on that day. So Tuesday, December 30th, 2025 at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live. All right, for this card, we're going to cut at, and I want to make sure I'm looking at my measurements here. We're going to cut at 3.5 inches. And I believe on this one I cut at 3 1/4, but I'm showing you the difference. So 3.5 inches. This is my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm making sure that my edge is right up to the top of my trimmer, and I'm looking at this edge here for the measurements. I'm at 3.5, and I'm making sure everything's parallel, and I'm going to trim. This part here is going to create the 2 tubes or tunnel, the pillars, I should say, that we use on the card. We're going to score at every 3/4 of an inch. And right now, because I'm right-handed and it's easier for me to, like, it's hard for me to hold this and then try to like keep it straight. So I use this side of my trimmer for my initial short measurements. So we're gonna go to the 3/4 inch mark. Everything's lined up nice and parallel, and I'm gonna use the light blade on my trimmer and press. And that's gonna put a crease line at 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna do another 3/4 of an inch, and 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5, okay? Yes, perfect timing. I am just starting. So now we're doing, I'm sorry, 1.5. Did I say 3.5? 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5. So now we have 2 score lines in there. Can you see them, maybe? Sometimes the lighting just has to hit just right. Hang on, let me zoom in. Okay, I have 2 score, oh, and now we're just getting blurry, Rachel. All right, maybe if I pull the lamp over. You can't see them, but they're there. All right, we're gonna flip it around. So we have a score line here and a score line here. Maybe you can kind of see them. And we're gonna turn it around and we're going to go 3/4, 1.5, and now we're gonna go to 2 2.25. Okay, so every 3/4 of an inch. 2.25 is the next one. And then the last one is 3 inches. That's gonna give us a 1/2 inch over here to use as a tab. We're gonna cut this in half at 5.5 inches so that we have 2 equal size pieces that are already scored. Now, you can cut your cardstock to 3.25 instead and have a 1/4 inch tab. A 1/2 inch tab or a 1/4 inch tab, either one is fine. You can even do 3/8 of an inch tab, but I'm just saying that you need to have a tab. Okay, next, we have this much left, and we want to cut from there a couple little strips that are these sizes. So I'm just gonna measure those for you. They're 1 inch by, and you can go 9 inches, but this is 8 3/4. But you're gonna score at, the first score line is gonna be at 1.5. So I'm gonna put this in here, 1.5. And then we're gonna score at 4 1/4. And then we're gonna score at 5 3/4. And we're gonna score again at 8.5. You're gonna do that to both pieces. And remember I said, because this is what's written on the PDF, 9 inches, or you can go to 8 3/4. Doesn't matter, as long as you have a little tab, whether it's a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch on that end, that you can use for gluing. And on this one, I have a 1/4 inch. On the measurements, I gave you a 1/2 inch extra, okay? All right, next. So we have a little bit left now. So if we were to cut off those 2 inches from our cardstock that we had left over earlier, we're gonna have about this much left. From this, we can die cut a couple arches. So I'm gonna bring in those dies, and I've already taped them together. So what you wanna do is you wanna put some masking paper or some Post-it notes down underneath one of your dies. It can be your middle one, your smallest one, your largest one, whatever, wherever you want to start. And then you just start building in or out to layer those dies. I'll demonstrate with the small one. So let's say I wanted to add the small one in here, and I've got some dies. I'm just going to lay it in here, and it's going against the sticky side. And then I press it in place. And now I can die cut all of those at once, and I'm going to get little individual skinny arches except for the middle part. So let's bring in that Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and put aside our cutting for a minute with our trimmer. We're going to cut with our machine instead. So for your machine, you want to have platform number 1. Then you want to have die adapter plate number 2. Then you want to have your scratchy plate number 3. And then you want to have another plate ready to go, number 3. We're going to lay our cardstock onto the platform. Everything's all set up. We're going to put this between the 2 cutting plates. Hi, Sandra. Glad you could join. So for this, do you see how there's a nice flat edge here? You do not want that going parallel to the rollers. Otherwise you're gonna have this big kaboom when you roll. So you kind of wanna either tilt it on the paper or put it in there and tilt the paper. See how I'm tilting it? So it will grab the corner first. Okay, next we're gonna lay this down. We're gonna make sure the sandwich is all lined up, nice and tight, everything's on there. And we'll start cranking it through. And yes, it grabbed it nicely. And then I'm gonna crank back the other direction. I just wanna roll it through a couple times. At this point, because there's stitch marks in the dies, I would suggest flipping it over and seeing if they look pretty clear all the way through. If they don't, like right in this area, it doesn't look really like they cut all the way through, then you can roll it in this direction. Just keep everything tight, keep your sandwich tight. And you're gonna have that pressure more directly onto the blade by having your roller closer to it. So there's a top roller and a bottom roller inside here. And if we can have those blades up high against the roller more, you're gonna get more of a severe cut or a sharp cut. Okay, those all look really good. So now I'm gonna peel my cardstock away. And I can either unpeel this whole thing. I'll have to clean it up because I've really pressed. I've done a lot of die cutting with this, so the tape is really embedded into this. But you can pull those away if you need to, or you can take and pop out each of the individual ones just by sticking your finger or scissors or something skinny through there. See how they're all coming out? If you have one big piece, which is what I started with yesterday, I had one big piece of masking on here. I couldn't get in there to remove the paper. So you almost have to have small little sections of tape. Okay, so we have a bunch of arches. And you'll want to do that 4 times. 4 times will make your arches nice and sturdy. 2 times is good also. You could do it just twice, but I'm going to show you why I mean 4 times. And I'm not going to do it for you 4 times here because I've already done that. I've already got some that are cut. Look how strong that is. I mean, that stuff stays on there. Wowza. Okay, so I've already got a couple other frames that are cut. I've got this size, which is the, let me measure it for you. It is a little over 2 3/4, sorry, 2 5/8. It's 2 5/8. So that's measuring, that's equaling our largest one that we cut. And then I have another one that's in between. So not this size, but the next one down. And that one measures across at 2 inches. See how I'm pairing them up with each other? And then ignore the next one down. And you'll want this one with that one, but we're not gonna glue those. And then remember I said to do it 4 times because I want another large one like this, and we're going to double frame them. So we're gonna take our glue now. This is our multi-purpose liquid glue. And just to be safe, because I'm on camera, I'm gonna put my silicone sheet down. Is there anything that can be done to minimize cut marks on the clear plates? Nope, you just have to deal with it. It's actually a good thing. That means you're crafting. I know, I'm one of those neat freaks. And so anytime something gets a little messed up, it bugs me, but no, you have to use the clear plates for cutting. Oh, that's my double one. If you use a plate that is kind of like there's other ones that are sold out there, not from Stampin' Up, but like Sizzix, they have some self-healing type of mats, but I don't know how well they cut, but you could use those and then you'll always have kind of a flat surface, I think. I don't have a link for that. Okay, so we have our frame, our second frame done. These are both doubled, so they're nice and stiff. Let's double these 2. So I'm using my precision tip glue bottle. Some people like try to really clean theirs. And there's videos out there for cleaning them up, for making them more flat again. I just recycle mine when I'm done, and then I move on to the next one. Because they get to the point where they're either too bendy or they're too scratched up where you can't see very well through them. Hi, sweet Janet. Glad you could make it. Yay. Yes, just keep a good supply on hand is what Trisha said. All right, so I currently have 4 of them. I just tossed out a couple, and now I have 4 that are on the cleaner side. So, okay, and then these are the ones we're not using, but you could just save them for another project. So all of these are doubled. I have 2 large ones, 2 medium, and then 2 single small ones. They're not doubled. Next, what we're gonna do is cut some designer paper. So we're gonna bring in that pretty sheet that looks like this, and we're gonna cut some pieces that are just a little shy of 5.5 inches. So I've already cut it to 5 3/4 inches in this direction, and now I want to cut 8 strips, and these strips are gonna be just under 3/4 of an inch. So if our little tube or pillar parts are 3/4 of an inch all the way around by 5.5 inches, we're doing 5 3/8 inches. So we're just going a little shorter. And in this direction, we're gonna go to 5/8 of an inch. So you look at your 3/4 inch mark on your trimmer, and you go back on, at least the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you go back 2 dashes, and that will take you to the 5/8 inch mark. So we have 1, and I'm gonna keep them in order here. 2. This ruler here is amazing, by the way. I have it in my favorite extras. You can see on here that 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch, and there's your 5/8 inch. So if you're not sure, you can always go to that mark and then measure it. Make sure that the channel of the trimmer is right in line with this 0 mark here. You're golden. Okay, so we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these 4 are going to be for 1 pillar, and I'm going to keep them in order. So I'm just going to move them off to the side. Now, if you wanted to, let's say you had a small scrap and you had to move to a different scrap, you could do your other 4 from a different scrap. So I'm just going to pretend that I had that issue in case you guys do. 1, 2, and if you keep them in order this way, it just gives more of a cohesive look to your project. And 4. We're not going to cover up the top and bottom portion of the card. Let's just flip these around because I think they were going, it doesn't matter. They're kind of one of those papers that can go in either direction. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our bone folder out and give all of these really nice sharp creases. And remember I said you could go 3.5 inches or 3 1/4. It looks like I grabbed the 1/4 inch one. Doesn't matter. You have a little bit of spot there right in that little zone to add your glue. Don't let the glue go beyond. Precision tip bottle helps. Okay, for making your tubes, you're going to press flat. Here, let me grab the other one that's consistent. Here it is. You're going to press flat when you glue down. You don't have to worry about holding your tube up and into a square shape. When you glue it flat like that, it will still pop up into the square shape. So the trick is to put your glue here, flatten at the second score line. So I've got it flat at the second score line. And then I'm going to press this one down, and we are forming the tube. Okay. I do have white, thick white cardstock on here, but I also doubled it. So it's doubled thick cardstock. And yes, my supplies are listed in the description of the video. You can also click on the link for the blog post and you can see a visual list of supplies. All right. Okay, so we have 2 tubes or pillars. These are going to make up the outside framing. And then we need these 2 pieces, and these are going to create the top and bottom pieces. And we've got our score lines in there. We're going to fold on all of those score lines for both pieces. Same step where we fold at the second score line, making sure everything's lined up. a little bit of an angle there. We're going to glue on the tab. Don't put too much there, and then flatten this side down on top of it. Okay? Oh, it's a belated birthday. So was it yesterday? Was it yesterday, Trisha? Maybe it was the 29th. Okay, press back and forth in either direction, and you've got your top frame part. Do the same thing for this one. So this is the same size card that I shared on the last live when I shared the paper pumpkin alternates. Was that my last live or the live before? I don't remember. But I shared a card using paper pumpkin with this. Maybe I can find it. I'm going to show you that one. Flatten it and oops, it didn't dry. Make sure it's dry before you bend it in the other direction. Now go over this way. Yes, the Victor ruler is amazing. There's a metal one. That's this one here. This is metal, which is great if you're going to do some like writing along the side. And then I have another blue one, blue and black, that is not metal. And then they have these, but they're sold in a set of, I think, 12. But they're really nice because they're clear. So I have links to all of those in my favorite extras. Next, we need, so we have those two pieces. We have these. Oh, I was going to show you that card. Hang on. Let me pull that up. Oh, it's down here. There's actually two versions of it. I didn't. Oh, that's because I made this one later. Okay, so I have these two versions using the latest paper pumpkin kit that just came to our mailboxes on the 10th. Well, no, probably mid-December, right? And the next one's coming, so make sure you're a subscriber. And then this is the card that I shared prior to that, and this was a YouTube members only video. So if you want to see that one and the measurements for all these little things and all that, you can visit us at the membership thing. So click on become a member and see all the past videos. They're fun. We're going to glue. We're going to first glue on the strips. So each tube has a seam. That seam is going to go towards the back of my card, but it really doesn't matter. So on the inner portion here is where I'm going to add the left of my strip. And I'm going to do this with seal adhesive because it'll go really quick, but you could use glue. Glue is a very cost-effective way to use adhesive in your paper crafting. Sorry, I was thinking. Okay, next one. And you can put it right next to it to make sure it lines up. Yep, that's the one. It just gives a nice flow if you have them right next to each other in order. But there is a gap, so it doesn't really, I mean, here's where you would see it, right? You can see where these kind of flow into each other. But it's okay if you mix them up too. And then this one. And I'm just having a 1/16 of an inch of white showing on all four sides. And then my last one goes here. And again, let's go to the back and look at the back side of this. Oops, boy, Rachel. The back side is where this seam is. So that's the seam. I have that going to the back, and I have my disconnect here. So this is the back of my card with the disconnect. This whole section here is the back. And you'll see why I chose that. Actually, I can show you. So when you look at the tunnel card here, you can see the flow of the design in through here and around here and around here. But then you have this thing in the way. So that's why it doesn't really matter if they connect from here to here, from here to the inside. Okay, so that's the back. Let's do the next one. So there's my seam. I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to start in the middle with the right one. And you know what? Putting it flat on the table might help, Rachel. Good idea, Rachel. And I have it a little bit pulled down too far, so I'm going to peel this up and stretch it. Do you guys ever talk to yourself? I talk to myself a lot. You didn't get yours till the 28th? Actually, that can happen. Sometimes there's delays, especially in December with, you know, mailing services. And it actually does not surprise. Oh, you know what? This is a shorter piece than the other one. That's probably why it's not connecting right. My white is probably just a little bit shorter. It's okay. It's going to work. So yeah, if you had delays, especially in December, it's probably because of all the holiday mail. But I'm glad you got your kit. Sometimes also we get our kits late if we have credit cards that are expired in our accounts. So always check that, you know, always keep on track. Keep up with that to find out if when you need to change out your credit card or update it. Actually, your credit card company should let you know by telling you, hey, you have a new card. Okay, so we have those done. And now we're going to connect these pieces to the top and bottom. This is the next step. And here's another seam. So I want that going towards the back. So I am going to, and I think what I'm going to do, no, I'll use glue. Glue is a little messy, but it's more secure once it's on. So I'm putting a little bit of glue up there, and that is going to connect with this inside portion. And you just have to eyeball it like that, and then press it down so that it connects like that. The next thing that you'll want to do is check to make sure that everything's perpendicular, parallel, blah, blah, blah. And those angles look really good. Okay, so let that dry for a second. Let's do the next one. Put glue on this side. Come in and connect. And I could have gone further down, I guess. We have a whole inch. You can also use tear and tape, or you can use Seal Adhesive or Seal Plus. You could even use glue dots. Okay, and then let's check it again. Let's press them all flat. Use the grid paper. Look at alignment. And it looks pretty good. So that's how easy that is. Let's flip it over. Well, actually, I don't want to flip it over. I'm going to get confused where the front and back is. Okay, so now we want to do the bottom. So we'll do the same thing. I'm going to go a little further up because we have a whole inch. Stick that down there. This is such a fun card. And they're kind of Eastery looking, the cards that I have, but or springtime. But, you know, you might as well get a head start on that, right? And then this one has to come in here. So we're going to glue that in place. The thing with glue is you want to make sure that you're not touching areas where you don't want glue. So be careful with that, because then you'll have glue residue and everything will be sticky. And we're going to flatten it down. And we're going to look at all the angles, all the measurements. It looks great. Yay. Okay, so this is the front of my card. That's the back. We're going to start by gluing on some of these little frame pieces. And I think the easiest one to start with would be the back one. So now we need to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again, because we need to do some die cutting of the leaves. So let's bring that back. I'm going to set this off to the side. We're going to grab our leaf die. This is a new set of dies, like I'd said. And this leaf is incredible. If you have a piece of 3x4 gold foil or whatever cardstock you want, so I'm going to bring in the foil. And I've got my 3x4 here all ready to go. The foil comes in 12x12 sheets. So 3x4, you can get 12 of these out of here. And it really, I mean, it fits pretty much exactly in there. So it's right spot on. Oh, and this is my cleaner one. I want my scratchier one on the bottom. There's my 3. And I'm going to line that up. Put this plate on top. And bring it through. No flat edges, so we don't have to worry about that. Happy New Year to you too, Pamela. Thanks you guys for coming. I mean, I really appreciate it when you come to my lives. It's so nice to have company, so I'm not just talking to myself. Whoops. Do you guys do this trick where you throw it down and it kind of loosens out? My friend Vicky Spicer shared that with me. Isn't that fun? So pretty. I mean, you could also use the brush. There is a brush. So it attaches to the Take Your Pick tool. And then you just go like this. You can, you know, get it out of your die that way. Okay, let's move this off to the side. And we're gonna cut this into 2 pieces. So I'll use my scissors and just cut right down here so that we have a flow of leaves that look like this. And then because there's a little hook there, we're gonna smooth that out. Now we have 2 sets of leaves. This one here is we're gonna work on the back side first. So we're going to attach this like that. And when we attach it, you can see it kind of connects in multiple areas of the leaves there. You can do a trick. One of my tricks is to take like a sticky note, have it all nice and flat, put your sticky note on here, and then put your other sticky note on the other side. If I can get it off of the tablet. Put your sticky note on the other side like this. You can lift the whole thing off, and then you know where you can add that glue. So let's put a little glue here, here. Okay, and you just don't want to go beyond that sticky note area. Cool trick, right? Then we flip the whole thing over and we line up our sticky note again. Like that. Pretty fun. Okay, so I'm going to peel that away. Peel that away. By the way, if you have anything on these tower pillar cards that go beyond this section or this section, if they're connected to the pillars, that's okay. You just can't have anything go beyond if they're attached to the top and bottom frame parts. Everything has to stay skinny within the top and bottom frame parts, but these you can go a little beyond. See how that leaf is going a little beyond? That's totally fine. Okay, next, and I probably should have done this before I stuck the leaves on, but we need to connect that little inside, that little inside arch, and it will fit down in there real tight. So if we can get that in there, it'll be in there really tight. Oh my gosh, Rachel, you should have done this beforehand. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. So we're gonna put glue here and here and here. And we're carefully going to stick that within. See, it fits. And try not to move it around too much. Should have done this before we glued the whole thing on, but that's okay, it's in there. Yay! Okay, this is where we're gonna add our bunny, our cute little bun. And there she is. I'm adding her with dimensionals because I think it's gonna be fun to have a little bit of shadow behind her body. So I want one at the head and one at the bottom. Peel off the backings. And we have to kind of stick those ears in and behind. They have to get back there too. And there is that. And then we can put some little gold accents in there. So let's grab our flower accents, which are, here they are. Flower accents. I feel like gold should have been in the name, but flower accents, that's what they're called. And here's my Take Your Pick tool, which makes it easier. Use the gummy end, and we're gonna release the large one and just kind of stick it up here in this corner. Like that. And then we have another large one kind of floating behind her here. So I stuck it underneath, and then I put another small one right next to it. So kind of like gold bubbles floating around. We're getting there. Okay, let's flip it back over this way again. because you can see that there's another arch here, and that's the one that we need to stamp on. Because this is not a photopolymer stamp, I highly recommend having, oh, and here it is. It's already mounted. I highly recommend having some grid paper or scrap paper off to the side so that you can test to see how your stamp looks when you stamp it down. So let's grab our Mossy Meadow ink. I'm glad you guys like this. Thank you. Have any of you made this kind of card? So I got this card idea from, well, Sam Calcott from Mix Up Crafts shared larger versions of this. And then one of my YouTube members suggested I alter it to work with our smaller size cards from Stampin' Up. So I did, and now I'm hooked. Okay, you can see mine tilts down a little bit to the right. So when I stamp this, I want to make sure that I'm tilting more upwards. If you can get this to line up right. There we go. So I'm going a little upwards when I stamp it down. And it looks straight. Yay! So we're going to put that on this side here, and we'll just, you can tape it, you can glue it. I think I'm going to tape just to make things less messy. And that's going to go here. So you want to work with your inner portions of your card first, I guess is what I'm saying, and then move to the outer frames. Okay, so the things inside first, the things that are connecting to the columns first, and then move outwards. So here's where we can add one of our frame pieces. And here you can also use that sticky note trick if you want to. You can see that the bottom edge of this is straight and all the way touching on that edge. So I'm going to go ahead and just add glue there right along the bottom. Put it in place, make sure it's centered, and then hold it. Oops, don't move around too much. That's what glue does, it moves. And once this is bonded, which only takes a couple seconds or so, then you can see how much is touching, the arch is touching up here. And at that point, you can take and either put your sticky note on there again. You can do that little trick here where we stick it on there and then peel it up. That's not a very sticky note. Or you can just take and guess, which is what I'm going to do. Just going to put a little bit across the top there, stick it down, and hold it. We just kind of slapped it on there, didn't we? It's looking good. And always, once in a while, just test your card out too. It has to be able to fold in either direction, back and forth, because you have to be able to fit into an envelope, right? Okay, we're getting there. At the very top, I have a couple more. At the very top and very bottom, I have a couple more little accents from the ephemera. So I'm going to add those right now. The bottom of the bunny body is going to be added with a dimensional right here. And again, you have to stay within the confines of the card edge on the top layer. So don't make those ears go beyond. They have to be within. Same thing with your strawberries that you're adding on top. And that will go right here. And then what we do is just bling it up some more. Let's bling it up. Mini clothespins, yes, Nancy, those would be great. I need to pull those out of my drawer. It's a non-Stampin' Up tool, so I don't think about using it. But yes, clothespins, paper clips, things like that. That one came off. There we go. Okay, so there's the back side of the card. Now let's work on the front side. And this is where the tunnel effect really comes in. So we've got this frame piece, and that's going to go next. You can see where it's going. It's going to have adhesive down the two long edges and a little bit in the corners. So let's flip it over. Grab that silicone sheet, just in case I go outside the edges a bit. There. We have glue on those spots. Flip it back. And there is a right side and a wrong side to the die cuts, just so you know. Okay, this is where you need a steady hand. Unless you're using tape. I just don't want the glue to smear. Oh my gosh, that's looking so cute. And they don't have to be perfectly lined up. Like, I probably could have pushed this up a little higher, but it's okay as long as you have your scene looking like a tunnel. That's what counts. And yes, we could press it to the side and make sure it's really pressed in. Ooh, gold dragonflies and butterflies. Those would work great, Rosemary. I like that idea. And let's press it to this side. Let's bring it back up again. Looks like I shifted it a little bit. Maybe don't press it down until you've got it dried. Okay, there's that. That's an easy middle step, right? And then the last one is just like on the back side. So where we're gonna add the glue along the bottom because it's attaching to the top and bottom frame portions, and then just a little bit of glue on top because we already know where it's gonna go. This gets added here. Oh, you know what? This is the back of my card. I see my seam right here. There's always a mistake that happens in a live video. Always. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody will care, Rachel. I'm going to shift that a little bit. Okay, that's stuck on there, and everything looks nice and tunnely. And then we have this last little section of leaves here, and so that's kind of fun to just add in that space. Again, though, this can't go beyond the edges here, so we have to kind of angle it up. And you can see that this one and this one are touching, so I'm going to put dimensionals on the back side of those two, 1, 2, and I think I'm going to use my mini dimensionals for that. Oops, that's just the backing of the dimensional. 1, 2, and then for the stem, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down here, and that'll help hold it to the card. So we're going to put this on here, make sure everything's within, push the stem part down, push the leaves on. Oops, stick that up a little higher. There we go. Fun! Oh my gosh! Very last part for this card is to take our sentiment strip, and we do have one of those already cut out. This piece is slightly smaller than our gold layer, and here's our gold layer. And the gold layer measures an 1/8 of an inch smaller than this little section here. So this section, if we grab our ruler again, we can see that it's 1 inch tall by 2 3/4 inches wide. So we want this to be 2.5 by 3/4 of an inch, which means this is just an even smaller. What is it? It measures 5/8 of an inch by 2 3/8. Let's stick this one down in front of us and stamp the thinking of you today message in our Mossy Meadow ink. I'm so glad. Thank you, Nancy. Have any of you made this card? I forgot to look up and see. Oh, Debbie, a fellow demonstrator, she goes, what did you say? I always make mistakes and I don't do lives. Yeah. There we go. Thinking of you today. I knew that one was straight, so I just trusted myself putting that down. You always have two sides though. Well, not always, but most of the time you have two sides of your cardstock or whatever you're using. And then this gets put on with dimensionals too. So let's grab our dimensionals. Here's one that's already broken into. 1, 2. That's it. And this card would be so cute to send in the spring or to somebody who wants spring to happen. Thinking of you today. And then the little cute little message about you're in somebody's prayers. I'm a little tilted on that, but that's okay. So there's that card. And then the other card, where is it? Oh, here it is. This is my Easter version, okay? And I used where are they? Here they are. So for the die cutting on this one, it says, thinking of you today, and then Happy Easter on the back. I have these dies all lined up. So it's the one that has the Morse code look. for the outer and the middle. And then there's one that's more like just kind of the ribbed look for the inside. And they measure, the largest is about 3 3/8. The second one is 2 3/4. And the third one is a little over 2 1/8. So you want to die cut this twice, actually 4 times, sorry, 4 times. Then you get your outer frame twice. You get your middle frame, which I still have to glue down 4 times, you get 4 pieces so you can do 2 frames also, but you only need 2 of them to put together 1 frame. And this here actually doesn't have to be the ribbed one. It could even be this one. I just found that this one was harder to clean out. But after you cut this, this center circle here is not the one that I actually used. You could use that, but what I used was the punch. Here it is. I used the 2-inch circle punch instead, but either way is fine. It's just on the back side, you would have that ribbed look going around. Oh my gosh, I have to glue this down, you guys. It's bugging me. It's loosey-goosey. Let's get in there and add the glue. Okay, bear with me. We're just gonna hold that for a second. Okay, so that's how I made the frame. So they are double stacked, just like our other card, double stacked. This is the leaf cut into 3 portions rather than 2. I'm just realizing how far away I am. Cut into 3 portions. So 1, 2, and then here's the third. This one here is the same long cut as we used on this card, but it's just angled a little differently. It's kind of going more side to side instead of up and down. And then the other part was cut into 2 pieces so that I could get kind of a fun flare look over here with my sentiment off center. It's up to you though. You could take and do the same thing where you put it across like this instead. So here you can see where I cut it. It was right in that spot, right there. The measurements for this card are also in the PDF, so I'm not going to go through all the measurements, but I added a little accent here, here, and here around the duck. And then for the Happy Easter, we have the grass and the, looks like radishes. And then the words come from Happy Easter from this set here that you can get on January 6th. And remember, the other words came from the Peaceful Pure stamp set. Okay, so taking a peek at the top of this is one other thing I want to point out before we're done with this card. Taking a peek at the top of this, you can see that this side and this side equal 5.5 inches. When you flatten this down, this is 5.5 altogether. The other side also equals 5.5, right? So if you're going to make a 5.5 inch wide card, you need to have 2 measurements, and you can alter these measurements. They don't have to be the same look. So you could make them all equal and make a square card if you want to. But this card here has 5.5 on this side, 5.5 on this side, plus extra for adhering, right? So that's why we have to go beyond that 11-inch size, and you'd have to use 12 by 12 thick cardstock, which is why I think I listed 12 by 12 basic white rather than 8.5 by 11, because if you're going to get into this size card, you need that extra long strip. And then the tubes, 1, 1, 1, 1, plus a little extra. So 4 beyond 4, it could be either 4 1/4 or 4 1/2, and then 4 1/4 inches tall. For this one, I did a little differently. This is 1 1/8, 1 1/8, 1 1/8, and you can see that you can make those adjustments. You can make the tubes different. You can't go too much further beyond 1 1/8 though, because then these things are going to cross over each other when you fold it down. So if you're going to alter the measurements to make something a little more unique and different, just know that 1 1/8 for this size card, the shorter and wider one, is pretty much the largest you can go on those tubes, okay? This is 1 inch thick. This is 3/4 inch thick. And I made this one thinner than this one because I wanted to have more room on the inside of this card. But either way, I mean, here's 1 inch on each of them, right? You can do 1 inch on each of them. You just don't have as much real estate to play around with. The, let's see, the other thing, what else was I going to say about this? I think that's it. So those are the tips on that card. It looks like I have to glue that down too. My glue was not adhering. But I hope you got inspired by them. So those are the cards for today. These are the ones from Paper Pumpkin from the other day. And then this is the one from the members only live. So you guys got to see it first. Very fun. All fun ideas. That's the tunnel look. And then the other ones don't necessarily have a tunnel look to them, but yes, the thick white comes in 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11. So if you were going to get basic white now versus before the new catalog came out in May, it would have been just regular basic white, but now it's thick basic white, which is a lot sturdier for scrapbooking. So, okay. Checking to see if I missed any questions. Okay, so remember the PDF is accessible, and what else? And the blog post is accessible. It has like the photos in it already, the visual list of supplies. So if you're looking to purchase any of these products, just know that the Storybook Moments designer paper, the one for these 2 cards with the little ephemera pieces, that's on the last chance list. So when it's gone, it's gone. Also, you can get in on the December product of the month if you haven't done so already. So if you place an order of at least $75 in the month of December, you can add on for only $5 the True Blue Florals designer paper. Whenever you place an order through me that's at least $50 in a month, you get a loyalty point, and then you also get access to that month's All-Star tutorial video bundle. It's a little bundle of videos from 12 of us demonstrators across the world, creating with the same products. And okay, upcoming lives. So for those of you that had fun and you want to stick around and you keep coming back for more, I really would love that. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you know when I'm going live. You can also subscribe to my website, stampyourartout.com. You just go there and then click on the home button, go down, and you can choose subscribe. And then you can subscribe to not only my blog posts, but my newsletters so that you can know when the news is being shared. And what's the news, Rachel? There's news that was just shared with us demonstrators this morning. I'm going to pull it up on my computer here so we can go over there. Bonus Days is coming. I think the last time they did this was in the summer. I don't know. I don't remember, but Bonus Days is coming. And what you want to do, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this, but you shop during the month of January, from January 6th, wait till January 6th if you want in on this, January 6th through February 2nd. Stampin' Up, we have some odd start and stop times, and it's basically the first Tuesday of the month to the first Tuesday of the month for the next, product promotion to start. So we go Tuesdays to Tuesdays, and so the first Tuesday of the month is January 6th, and that's when this promotion will begin. Every $50 that you order will earn you a $5 bonus coupon, but you're also earning those Stampin' Rewards. So if you place a $50 order, you get my loyalty point, you get my All-Star video, you get the $5 coupon to use the following month, and $5 in Stampin' Rewards to use in the future. So it's a really good time to shop. So if you have a wish list, hang on to it, except for that Storybook Moments paper, because I don't know when that's going to go. But place your order from January 6th to February 2nd, and then in the whole month of February, so February 3rd to the 28th, you can redeem your coupons. Okay, so there's the deal on that. I'm going to check to see if there's any questions that came up. Okay, upcoming lives. The next live that I'm going to do is going to be on Friday, January 2nd. So I did the live today so that you would have your vacation holiday day free tomorrow. So it's New Year's Eve-ish tomorrow. Oh my gosh, Eve-ish. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow evening. And then, the day, I don't know what they call it. Do they call it New Year's Eve day? And then all of a sudden we're in 2026. How does that happen so fast? Life flies when you're an adult. Okay, so then after that, I will see you on the 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Time on Friday for another video. And then after that, the next one will be Tuesday again. What happened to Rachel's Wednesdays? We had Christmas and New Year's, but next week, my family is going to go visit our son in California. So I have to do my live on Tuesday because we fly out on Wednesday. So I hope that that's all okay with you guys. 3 Tuesdays in a row. And Happy New Year. I hope you had wonderful holidays. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks for checking out what I share on my blog. Thank you for, oh my gosh, what else can I click on here? There's YouTube. Here's Facebook. Join me on Facebook. And if you join my Facebook group, by the way, you can share what you've created. So if you see an idea that you love and you want to share your version of it, join the group, answer those membership questions. People forget to answer the membership questions. Answer the membership questions, get in, and then start posting. We would love to see what you have that you've created. Thank you, Trisha. Love you. We're 5 minutes over. I'll let you all go. Thanks for joining me now. I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.